What up, what up, what up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to do a review of Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 8, Episode 14. So if you haven't seen Episode 14 of Season 8 of Tyler Perry's Sistas, turn this video off and go watch the episode. Then come back and watch this video. And please like the video, subscribe to my channel. It's a simple, free, anonymous way to support my channel. And it's the best way that you can support my channel. I'm not a public speaker. I will tend to fumble my words, say so, say like 1,000 times. I may stop to regain my thoughts like I just did. I may slow my speaking down to regain my thoughts. I'm going to be looking at my notes that I take throughout the show. And anything I say is my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. Also, comment below what you would grade this week's episode and what you thought about this week's episode. If there's anything that I leave out or I forget to talk about or I'm off on, let me know in the comments. If you have any difference of opinions or just an opinion in general, leave in the comments. I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. This episode, it was okay. I liked the little dynamics of the episode. We had some scenes where people were talking that we weren't expecting to see talking. Some stuff happened that we wasn't expecting to happen. So I'm going to put it in between a B- and a C+, which I feel like is still me being generous. I mean, the show does still move very slow and laggy, but I'm going to put it in between a B- and a C+ for right now. Maybe I'll change the grade at the end of this review, but maybe I won't. We'll see. But, yeah, Last Chance, Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 8, Episode 14. If you have not seen it, turn this video off so you don't get any spoilers. So the episode begins with Robin coming into the police station to talk to Penelope. And he finally gets to meet Jordan for the first time. And Robin basically assures Jordan that, we both want what's best for Penelope, even though Jordan's not buying it. But they shake on it, and Jordan's like, you can get my sister out, then yeah, that's all that matters. So Robin then goes in the back to talk to Penelope, and Andy comes storming into the station. And she's trying to say that she's Penelope's counsel. She's there to represent him. To represent. God damn. She tries to say that she is Penelope's counsel and she's there to represent her. And Jordan's like, why'd you send Robin? What's going on? And he's like, I may have made a mistake, but I can't talk about it right now. And Jordan's just, he's just going on about how Andy doesn't have Penelope's best interest and how he doesn't trust her and blase. Andy brings up how she been warned Penelope about Gary and Penelope didn't listen. And they just have that little back and forth. So Zatima, they're at their house and they're staring at their murder board, basically trying to think of other suspects besides Robin, because now they didn't put Andy in a whole spiral thinking that it was Robin that stabbed Gary. So then Fatima leaves for work, and Zach calls to check on Karen. He apologizes for stressing her out. He promises to play nice with Aaron from now on. And then Karen tells Zach about Danny's panic attack. But she doesn't say panic attack. She just says Danny had a scare. It's like I almost forgot I didn't even say almost. I kind of forgot about Danny and Zach's relationship before this episode. Danny wakes up to Sabrina still there, caring for her, brought her breakfast. Did all the best friend things that you do for your best friend. And she tells Danny, I called my job, told him I'm going to be late. I want to make sure you're okay. Danny basically assures Sabrina, I'm fine. I know yesterday was a crazy, but I'm fine. She tells her, you just got this promotion. You should go to work. So Sabrina, she complies and leaves. And when she leaves, Tony pops up. So we get this saying Robin is in with Penelope. And he tells her who he is and that Andy recommended him. So at first Penelope is like, oh, I don't want you as my counsel. I don't want any connection to Andy. I don't want to talk to anyone connected to Andy, whatever the case may be. Robin then tells Penelope that she's facing serious time since she's already confessed to stabbing Gary. Penelope starts to get emotional. She tells Robin she didn't mean to confess. It's just like, okay, of course you did now. Whatever. She says that she blurted out that she stabbed Gary, but she meant it as a question and not a statement. So Robin's like, well, Agent Watt may have took your confession and ran with it. And then he asks her about her saying that she had blood on her hands. Penelope then tells Robin, you can even ask my brother. He was the one that found me that night with the blood on my hands. So then Robin asks Penelope, are you or Jordan sure that it was Gary's blood on your hands? And I was like, I guess that's a good question. So then Penelope's like, well, I guess not. So Robin asks Penelope, did you sign anything? Penelope says no. She says, but I trust Agent Watt. He's my friend, and we grew close when I was in protective custody. So Robin's like, how did you guys grow close? And Penelope's like, well, nothing intimate. He just told me he cared about me. I had just lost my child, my baby, blase, blase. So Robin's like, well, I may be able to get you out to be with your brother if you let me take your case and speak to Agent Watt on your behalf. And Penelope nods her head yes. So then we get this little scene where Karen calls Pam, tells Pam, I need you to reach out to Sabrina about our business plan. Pam's like, I got everything under control, and rushes Karen off the phone just so her and Trey could get it on in Karen's office. And I thought that scene of them having sex was so unnecessary. Like him pumping all fast and her moving on. I was like, that was so unnecessary. Like, since when do the sex scenes be like that? I was just like, that was extra. It was cringy. It's always some cringy shit going on in Tyler Perry shows. Like when I just did my Oval review yesterday, they had the damn president's son talking with something. I want to see you clap those cheeks. It's just like, why do they keep doing this shit to make us cringe? It's annoying. So like I said, Tony pops up at Danny's place. He has this giant bear. He says he's there to apologize. And then Danny apologizes as well for kicking Tony out that day. And she tells him that her doctor recommended that she take anti-anxiety medication. But she's like, I don't want to talk further about it. I just need a couple of days. Just give me some days, give me some time. And Tony's like, absolutely. He's like, I just want to tell you that if I knew what was going on, I would have handled things differently the other day. And then Danny starts to talk about her past. She's like, I would use sex as a defense mechanism. She's like, she talks about her past abuse and being assaulted and how she would use she would have sex just so she could avoid getting hurt or anything like that. And I've seen that type of stuff being talked about on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So it's just like, they know what they're doing on this show. They trying to get relatable people. It's just like, yeah, you could get the people to relate, but it's just like, why do you have to drag the fucking conversation so long? It's like, I'm sure lots of women can relate to what she was saying, but it's just like, why do they drag it? So she says that she tells Tony that the other day when they were about to have sex, she wasn't sure if it was because she wanted to or if she was supposed to. So she tells Tony, just give me a day to get myself together. And Tony says, of course, they joke about her getting a PTO day, or whatever the case may be. So then Robin, he goes to Agent Watt. Watt tells Robin, you a day late. She already confessed. And Robin's like, you don't have anything to hold her. You have a coerced confession from a woman dealing with blackouts that you had an inappropriate relationship with. And Watt's like, nothing inappropriate happened. He says, I just told her I cared for her because I felt sorry for her because she had just lost her baby. Then he asks Robin, why are you even representing Penelope? Aren't you supposed to be representing Andy? And Robin's like, well, Andy doesn't need representation anymore since you all on Penelope's case. So Watts says, and Penelope admitted to being there when Gary got stabbed. She also had motive. So Robin then asked Agent Watt, like, did you coerce that confession out of Penelope because she denied your sexual advances? And Watt's like, that's bullshit. So Robin's like, well, that's up to a judge to decide. And then Agent Watt tells Robin, I looked you up, I looked into you, and found out that Gary ruined your relationship with Andy, and he also tried to steal your firm from under you. And he starts questioning, like, should you be the one I should be investigating? He says that to Robin. And Robin's like, anyways, basically. He just smiles and chuckles. He's like, release Penelope immediately or I will file a wrongful imprisonment suit against the Atlanta PD and FBI. And he gives Agent Watt an hour to do so. So Rich and Sabrina, they wait anxiously to hear from the doctor. Rich worries that he may have an STD that he never knew about because he doesn't get tested that much. And Sabrina's like, she reassures him. She's like, well, you don't have to worry about that because I get tested and you haven't given me anything. So it's just like, again, like I said, these are stories that people, of course, can relate to, but they just drag them. So it's just like, it really doesn't come across sometimes. So she basically is telling him, because then he's like, maybe I didn't get all my sperm in the cup. Maybe they need me to redo it. And Sabrina's just like, well, let's just stop thinking the worst and wait to hear from the doctor. So then we get this scene, like I said, I forgot that Danny and Zach even had this relationship until until Zach stops by to see Danny. And she's like, who told you? And he's like, Karen, of course. So he tells her, Danny's like, I don't want to talk about it, her panic attack. And Zach's like, well, you seen me at my lowest, so I'm not going anywhere until you talk to me. So Danny, she starts telling him, I don't think therapy's working for me. She says, I'm trying to do the work, but my brain keeps telling me to go back to the old Danny, the one that self-medicates with the drinking and the booze and the sex with different dudes or whatever. And Zach, he chuckles and he's like, the fact that you are self-aware and that you are in touch with your feelings shows that therapy is definitely working for you. He's like, you different now. He tells her that her panic attack may have been a blessing in disguise, so her body could let off some steam. So then Zach asks about Tony. Danny tells Zach that sometimes she thinks that she got with Tony too soon after Preston. And Zach's like, is that another excuse or are you... No, he says, is that an excuse to run away from the relationship like you do? And I'm just like, preach, Zach. He telling her like it is. It's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy that she could tell all this to Zach and not really speak like this to Tony, but it is what it is. I like their relationship. I mean, they was two people from the first season that we grew to, basically. Fatima goes into Hayden's office, very pleasant like. She's like, I went over Andy's case files. Do you want them so you can go over them one more time? And Hayden's like, you can go over them. And she's like, will do. And Hayden's like, well, where's the real Fatima? Because why are you so pleasant? And Fatima's like, I'm just trying to stay on task like you asked. And Hayden's like, oh, you trying to suck up now because basically Andy's position is unknown now at the firm, undetermined. So he's like, but it's too late. It's too late for you to suck up now. And Fatima's like, well, I had a change of mind. And Hayden's like, yeah, I know you up to something. I'm going to find out what it is. Then he gets up. He's like, I got to go to a meeting. Fatima goes over and she's like, I hold down the fort boss and fixes his tie, throws him off completely. He's like, okay. And then he leaves out. Fatima then rushes to Hayden's desk to look for, which I thought was a computer password. But then Hayden gets down to the parking garage and realizes that he left his phone. I still didn't know what he had left until he got back upstairs. He left his phone, but actually Fatima got it up off of him once she fixed his tie. So he heads back up to get his phone. Fatima's still in his office, and so now I know she's looking for a password to his phone. She finds a headshot in his desk, super cocky, and uses that to open his phone. And I'm assuming she gets what she wants, which is the video of Tamara and Gary. And then she sets his phone back on his desk, like he just left it there. And she leaves his office before he comes back to grab it. So back with Zach and Danny, Zach asks Danny to be the godmother of his child with Karen, I'm assuming. And he's like, you always had my back. I know you got the sister circle, but you got a brother for life. It was a sweet little moment. So then Fatima calls. She's like, tell Danny that I hope she's okay. But also, we got Hayden right where we want him. Zach's like, okay. He's smiling. All this sneaky detective work and shit that Zatima is doing now makes me look at them like, are they guilty? Because I didn't think they were guilty. But now I'm just looking at them like, I don't know. Especially with the way the episode ended. So, Robin comes out with Penelope. Jordan and Penelope both thanking Robin for getting her out. Andy storms out, and Robin goes right after her. So at the doctor's office, the doctor tells Rich and Sabrina that the reason why... No, she tells them that they won't be able to use Rich's sample to fertilize Sabrina's eggs because he carries the sickle cell trait, and that makes him ineligible to donate sperm. And I said, oh, that's crazy. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, it makes sense, though. Like, that makes sense, yeah. But I was like, damn. So now it makes me wonder what's going to happen with their relationship. Because she want kids, and he didn't want kids, but that was before he knew that he couldn't even have kids. I mean, he could have kids, but it's a very strong chance that they would have this illness. So Robin follows Andy all the way to her place, and he comes up and he's like, what's wrong with you? So Andy's like, why did you agree to represent Penelope? And Robin's like, am I being punked right now? Like, you literally asked me to represent her. And Andy's like, I don't know. I think you're trying to clear your guilty conscience. And then she asks Robin if he stabbed Gary. And then we cut away to Karen's place where Fatima just pops up to see Karen. And then we get this final scene where Agent Watt, he goes to Gary with some pictures of some of the ladies from the cast. He shows Gary a picture of Sabrina, Karen. It was one more, Penelope. So it shows a picture of Sabrina. Gary says he don't know. Karen, Gary says he don't know. Penelope, Gary's like, well, she was in the hospital here. She was here in my hospital room the other day, yelling about engagements and dead babies. And I think she's crazy, but I don't know her other than that. And then Agent Watt shows Gary a picture of Fatima. And Gary's like, that's her. That's the woman that stabbed me. And that's how the episode ends. And I'm just like, so... That's why now I'm looking at Zatima like, did y'all do it? But why would they show... Like, if Zatima are by themselves, why wouldn't they not speak freely about what they did? Why would it be a secret between the two of them? Now, them investigating the murder, I don't know. Like, I guess that would be them trying to cover up for themselves. Oh, I don't know. But like I said, I do feel like Gary ass is not... I feel like his memory's not really gone. He probably just trying to take down the team and he don't like them. He probably just trying to take them down. So you never know. But that's how the episode ends. I would still put it in between a B- and a C+. Because now it got me wondering about a lot of stuff. Like we see in the next episode, Agent Watt shows Gary a picture of Zach, and Gary's like, that motherfucker hit me too. So it's just like, I don't know if he might just be trying to take Zatima out. It might actually be Robin. We gotta see what Robin's response to Andy is, because she asked him, did he stab Gary? Like I said, I wonder what's gonna happen with Sabrina and Rich now that he can't physically give her a child. Like, will she take that other dude's sperm and Rich gonna raise another man's baby or whatever? I don't know. Yeah, we see Agent Walker goes to Zatima's house to interrogate them, so we'll see what's gonna happen with them. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, and Karen and Fatima have this sit down, but I guess Fatima just went to see Karen to talk about. I'm assuming she probably wants to tell Karen not to tell anybody about her pregnancy, which I don't think Karen would. I think Karen would tell people because her pregnancy. Did she want to keep her pregnancy a secret for a while? I don't remember, but either way, those are my little thoughts or whatever's for this week's episode and the episodes to come. Thanks for watching this review. Comment below what you would grade this week's episode and what you thought about it. And if I forgot something or was off on something or left something out, leave it in the comments. Or just, if you just have an opinion of any sort, leave in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel. If you sat here for 20 minutes, 21 minutes, and watch this review, you can take 5 seconds, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's the best way to support my channel. It's anonymous. It's free. Best way to help. I can't reiterate that enough. So just like and subscribe, comment below. Thanks for watching this review again, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.